It's 3:30 a.m. You have to be up at 7, and you cannot sleep. The reason? A serial bloodsucker the weight of an eyelash has decided to pay you a visit tonight. Every single time you start to relax, you hear it, that thin, high-pitched whine drifting past your ear, followed by you flailing your arms wildly at absolutely nothing. Then silence. Then it happens again. An endless loop. You are losing a fight to an insect you can barely feel and can't even see. So you give up. You flip on the lights and sit there, dead-eyed, waiting for it to land somewhere so you can end this. It does not appear. Of course it doesn't. Eventually, it gets way too late, and you pass out from pure exhaustion. You wake up 2 hours later with 10 fresh, itchy new designs decorating your arms and legs. Defeated, you pull out your phone, start searching for mosquito repellent, and you think to yourself, if a modern human with electricity and bug spray is getting bullied this badly, what on earth did ancient humans do against these things? So here's the question. How did ancient humans deal with mosquitoes? And the answer is so much bigger than you'd think, because that little annoyance keeping you up tonight isn't just a pest. It's the deadliest creature in the history of the world. And the war between humans and mosquitoes is older, longer, and bloodier than any war we've ever fought against each other. Let me explain why this is so much more serious than an itchy bump. The mosquito itself doesn't really hurt you. It's what it carries. When a mosquito bites, it can pass tiny parasites into your blood. And the worst of them causes malaria. And malaria is not a minor illness. It is, by a wide margin, one of the greatest killers humanity has ever faced. Some estimates suggest that across all of human history, malaria and other mosquito-borne diseases may have killed billions of people, more than every war combined. More than any plague, any predator, any disaster. The deadliest animal that has ever existed isn't the lion or the shark, it's the thing buzzing around your bedroom right now. So when we ask how ancient humans dealt with mosquitoes, we're not asking how they avoided being annoyed. We're asking how they survived their deadliest enemy for hundreds of thousands of years with no medicine and no idea what was even making them sick. And the first way they dealt with it is the most surprising. They ran. In 2026, a study published in Science Advances looked at where early humans actually lived across Africa, and the researchers found something striking. As far back as 74,000 years ago, human populations were avoiding the areas where malaria was worst. They didn't know about parasites. They didn't know mosquitoes carried disease. But over many generations, the places that made people sick and killed their children became places people simply didn't settle. The mosquito was, in a very real sense, drawing the map of where humans could live. Entire regions of Africa were effectively off limits, too deadly to survive in because of an insect. Think about that. One of the first tools humans used against the mosquito wasn't a weapon or a repellent. It was geography. They just stayed away. The bug was winning so completely that it shaped the borders of the human world. But staying away has a cost, because some of that off-limits land was good land, fertile, full of resources, perfect for living, except for the part where the mosquitoes there would kill you. And eventually, humans found a way in. Not through invention, through evolution. Around 15,000 years ago in West Africa, a mutation appeared in the human genome. You've probably heard of it, sickle cell. Now, sickle cell is a tricky thing. If you inherit 2 copies of the gene, it's deadly. But if you inherit just 1 copy, it does something remarkable. It gives you real protection against malaria. Your blood cells become a harder place for the parasite to survive. So in the most malaria-ridden parts of Africa, this brutal trade-off started to play out. The gene was dangerous, but the malaria was more dangerous, and people carrying 1 copy survived where others didn't. That single mutation was so valuable that it opened up entire regions that had been too deadly to live in before. Humans didn't outthink the mosquito there. Their own DNA changed to fight it. We still carry that mutation today. It's a literal scar from a war we've been fighting for 15,000 years. Okay, so that's avoidance and evolution. But what about the actual day-to-day stuff? When an ancient human was just trying to get through the night with these things buzzing around, what did they do? It turns out a lot of the same things you'd think of. The biggest one was fire. Smoke is a fantastic mosquito repellent. The insects hate it. It interferes with the way they track us, and it just makes the air around a fire unpleasant for them. So a smoky fire wasn't only for warmth, light, and safety, it was also a bug shield. Ancient humans sleeping around a fire were getting protection from mosquitoes as a bonus, possibly without even fully realizing why it worked. Then there were repellents. There's evidence that ancient humans used red ochre, that rusty, earthy pigment they painted on their bodies and their cave walls, partly as an insect repellent, smeared onto the skin to keep bugs off. And they used plants. Certain plants naturally produce compounds that repel or even kill insects, and people learned through trial and error which ones to crush, burn, or rub on themselves to keep the biting things at bay. They were making bug spray out of the landscape, thousands of years before a chemist ever bottled it. And as civilizations grew, the solutions got more refined. In ancient Egypt, the pharaohs slept under mosquito nets. We know that Sneferu, a pharaoh from around 2600 BC, used netting to keep the bugs off while he slept. Cleopatra, thousands of years later, did the same. The mosquito net, one of the single most effective tools against malaria, still used by the millions today, is thousands of years old. The richest, most powerful people in the ancient world used the exact same basic defense you might buy for a camping trip now. Because against the mosquito, a simple net is still one of the best things we've got. So let's put the whole picture together. The mosquito has been hunting humans for the entire existence of our species, and we fought back with everything we had, long before we understood what we were even fighting. We avoided the deadliest lands, and let the insect redraw our map. We evolved, our very blood changing to resist the disease it carried. We burned fires and breathed the smoke. We painted ourselves in ochre and crushed plants into repellent. We draped nets over our beds. Layer after layer of defense, built up over hundreds of thousands of years, against an enemy most people today swat at without a second thought. And here's the humbling part. We still haven't won. Malaria still kills hundreds of thousands of people every single year. After all this time, all this evolution, all our science, the mosquito is still to this day the deadliest animal on Earth. So the next time one keeps you up at 2 a.m., buzzing past your ear in the dark, and you're lying there furious and exhausted and ready to tear the room apart, try to remember, you're not just losing a night of sleep. You're the latest soldier in the oldest war humanity has ever fought. Your ancestors fought that exact same enemy. The only difference is they were fighting for their lives. You're just fighting for one good night's sleep. Go get the bug spray. You've earned the advantage.